Okay, so let's get started with the planning side of things. The reason I wanted to start with this is because actually this is really related to why I'm doing this video. I was deciding about what direction am I going? What should I do? I'm studying so many different things. What should I do? And what I've realized is that I can be most helpful to other people by sharing the things that I learn with other people. So that's why I'm starting to do that now. I've sort of been in the whole not really sharing enough. So I'm coming out and I'm doing that, and that's part of my plan. And how did I come across that? Okay, so let's talk about Plato's Republic and what he talks about. Well, in Plato's Republic, he reveals that there are two main ways of coming across truth that are sort of at ends with each other. We see this in religions and science being fighting the whole time about what the truth is. How did the world start? Was it created by a being? Was it just did it just appear out of nothing? And these are two things that are at ends with each other. And I'm going to show you that no matter what your beliefs, then this one perspective can actually help you actually uncover the truth of what you are and what you should do. And so these two different perspectives are the philosopher, where you arrive at truth through reason alone and through pitting one thing at another, whether that's deductive reasoning or inductive reasoning. This is all the work of the philosopher. And the other point of view you can have is the point of view of the poet. And this is not just someone who writes words down. This is someone who uncovers truth through an inspiration that comes from a place that they don't really understand. It just appears. And we all have these experiences. Like, no matter what you believe about spiritual things, or no matter what you believe about science or anything like that, we all have these inspirational experiences. And this is the approaching things and getting revelation and inspiration in the moment is the poet's way of working on things. And so, I really like this quote that I don't remember who actually said it, but the quote is something along the lines of, inspiration is real, but it needs to find you working. So that's really interesting. It's so if you feel in your life like you are not being true to yourself, if you feel in your life that something is just missing, that you feel like everything's just telling you what to do, you're doing what other people want you to do all the time, and you're reacting to things, and then it feels like you can never get on top of it, you can never actually make progress in anything that you feel is related to you, well, then this is probably because you haven't dedicated anything towards this poet's way of doing things. So what does that mean? Well, think about this here. Imagine you get up in the morning, you check your emails. Checking your emails is reacting to things that other people are telling you to do, or companies are sending you adverts telling you to do this, buy this, do this. Maybe even colleagues are sending you information telling you you need to do this job today. Maybe family is just saying, come and visit us, things like this. Maybe they're even just saying, how are you? But regardless, it's other people asking you for information, asking you to do things for them. And this is good. You should do this. But if you only do these things, these reactionary things, then you will feel like you're unfulfilled. You'll feel like everything in your life is just ruling you. So what do? This is what you must do. You must set aside some time in your day that is dedicated to only allowing the inspiration of what you are to come out. And this is creative time. And when I say creative, don't think, oh, I'm not an artist. I'm not a musician. I'm not very creative. You are. You're a human. There's nothing that humans do that isn't creative. But what I'm talking about is creating from your internal parts, from the inspiration that I was just talking about before. So you need to set aside time. And a really great way to start doing this is you either just sit down with paper in front of you and a pen, or you sit down with a recorder in front of you, an audio recorder. I grab my phone and I press record. Just talk. Or you sit down with a musical instrument or with paints, or it's your own choice what you sit down with. It could be anything. It could even be sitting down to, or it could actually be calling someone on the phone with the express intent of expressing yourself, your inspiration, who you are, and not just listening to. And so you have to communicate this with someone if you're intending to do this. But whatever you do, you have to keep in mind that the reason that you're doing this is to allow the truth to come out of you. And you'll find that it does. Without a doubt, it always does. You just got to give yourself a little bit of time and a little bit of peace. Maybe the first time it's a bit strange and you feel like you're wasting time, but that's fine. Just set aside 5 minutes with no distractions and do it. And then the next day, try again. And you'll find that it just comes out. And you really start feeling more fulfilled that you're being yourself, because this time with these things, these ideas that come out of you, these inspirations that come out of you, whether it's art, whether it's spoken word, whether it's just ideas for design or anything like this, these things will eventually grow to encompass everything in your life and bring everything more meaning.